What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got another NBA discussion video to go over with you guys. This time actually talking about Ben Simmons and whether or not the Golden State Warriors are still interested in him. For those of you who didn't know, there was a lot of rumors going around, at the start of the year mainly, that revolved around the Golden State Warriors actually believing they could possibly get Ben Simmons, which would have been extremely interesting. Obviously, the report was said that the Warriors think that the 76ers guard Ben Simmons is the best player they could get in a trade for D'Angelo Russell, per Marcus Thompson. So, obviously, now that we know that D'Angelo Russell is no longer on the Golden State Warriors, he's now on the Minnesota Timberwolves, who, they traded D'Angelo Russell for Andrew Wiggins. But does this now mean that, that the Golden State Warriors still don't have somewhat of interest when it does come to Ben Simmons? I'm kind of going to try and answer that, and I'm going to say yes and no. For example, obviously no in the fact that they're not going to be able to trade, D'Angelo Russell for Ben Simmons anymore. But also just other little things as well, that if the Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid experiment, kept failing, which I honestly believe will most likely happen, especially with players such as Al Horford on the roster that literally just make no sense at all when it does come to Al Horford starting at power forward and Joel Embiid starting at center. This is kind of brought up the question that do the Sixers need to not only just trade Al Horford, but do they need to trade Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid? I've said this and I've spoken about it before. I would way rather Ben Simmons on my team. Like, there are a lot of people that dislike Ben Simmons because he can't shoot, but he is one of the best defenders in the NBA. Currently, right now, one of the best playmakers in the NBA. He's great at driving. He's literally great at everything except shooting. And if this man developed a three-point jump shot, which he's highly working on right now, literally watch out. That would absolutely be insane. Now, to answer the question though, are Golden State still interested in him? Look, I would imagine they would be. I would imagine there would be a lot of interest in him because there's obviously, the rumor that the Golden State Warriors will be trading their pick that they will get this season, which I'm pretty sure is going to be a top 5 pick because they have the highest lottery odds, which, would mean that, yes, they're going to be looking for another superstar, but also there's been reports a lot around right now that they're looking to move on Draymond Green. There was reports that they were actually going to move on Draymond Green and a pick or so to try and get Rudy Gobert. If you guys haven't seen that video as well, I highly recommend going and checking it out on my channel. But this just pretty much comes to the opinion and conclusion to me that the Golden State Warriors are going to be looking to try and trade for another All-Star with that pick. Now, obviously, let's just say they did get pick 1, right? Let's just say they got pick 1. We'll say they got pick 3. So the Golden State Warriors get pick 3 in the draft lottery, and then they offer pick 3 and Draymond Green for Ben Simmons. Now, if you were the Philadelphia 76ers, would you accept this? Obviously, no. There is no way you would literally accept this. I mean, Ben Simmons is the future of your team. He is going to be a future MVP candidate, in my opinion. And he is just a very, very good player. And I would way rather Ben Simmons than a third-round pick, a player like maybe James Wiseman, who it doesn't exactly have the highest ceiling. He can't exactly shoot that much. He's got a lot of problems here and there. And then, obviously, Draymond Green, who's already got a pretty bad contract right now. I would be saying literally no if I was the Philadelphia 76ers. But what if Golden State trying to offer more? Like, what if they do offer, Draymond Green that top 5 pick and maybe a couple first-round picks here and there? Would you consider it? Obviously, again, I still wouldn't, but maybe the Philadelphia 76ers may have a couple other things in mind. Maybe they would see Draymond Green to try and play a similar type of role to what Ben Simmons is playing in that point forward type of role. Maybe they might want to experiment to see how that would go and see if it would work. They could obviously use some of those pieces and now draft the player, or obviously trade them away for other players. But again, I just highly rate Ben Simmons. I think he is an absolute beast. And for the people that are still hating on him, it's absolutely crazy. I mean, hopefully he'll learn how to shoot. And it's a big problem in his game. But he is still a great player at many things. I mean, he is definitely one of the best defenders in the NBA. Some people even calling him the All-Defensive Player of the Year award. Trying to get that award potentially. Some people actually have him as the favorites over Anthony Davis and Giannis, which is kind of crazy to think about. But also, this guy is he's an absolutely insane defender, and that's why the Sixers have been able to be relatively decent throughout the season. Although they've had a disappointing season, the reason that's kept them in and going forward is they're such a great defensive team, but obviously the offense is very concerning with Al Horford and Tobias Harris at the 3, when I think it should be Tobias Harris at the 4, obviously. And yeah, it's a little bit of a issue when it does come to that. But let's just think about this. Everyone's talking about Golden State trying to get Giannis. Imagine if they got Ben Simmons, okay? Imagine if they got Simmons. They would give up, definitely a lot less than what they would have to give up Giannis, you would think. But imagine this team real quick. Steph Curry at point guard, Klay Thompson at shooting guard. Ben Simmons would probably play the small forward position. Eric Pascal at power forward. And then whoever they decide to get at center would be absolutely insane. I mean, just imagine. Simmons wouldn't even need to shoot. He doesn't even need to learn to shoot if he has this team. Simmons could literally just drive the whole time, and because he's such an exceptional playmaker, he can kick it out, and you'll most likely have an open, Steph Curry or Klay Thompson, who are two of the best shooters in the NBA. Eric Pascal, who's already a very capable shooter, and then whoever they get at center. That would just be absolutely insane, and I'm saying it right now. If the Golden State Warriors were able to get Ben Simmons, there is no way you wouldn't think they would be, the favorite option to win the championship. Because imagine that team, like, they're obviously building a relatively interesting bench core here and there as well. They've had a really bad season, but they are trying to build for something really special. And let's just say in a world where they were able to get Ben Simmons, which again, I'm not saying they will be able to, because I honestly think that if the Philadelphia 76ers would trade him, they would be absolutely crazy, in my opinion. But just look at this team, okay? I've also forgot to mention Andrew Wiggins. If they don't trade Andrew Wiggins, actually, Ben Simmons would play power forward, and then they'd have whoever they have as center, and then Pascal would probably come off the bench, or something like that. But or they could even try, actually, they might even look to try Simmons at center, because he's such a good defender and rebounder as well. Imagine that. Imagine if the Golden State Warriors turned Ben Simmons from a point guard into a center, and, that would actually be insane. Let's just say they had a starting 5 of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Eric Pascal, and Ben Simmons at center. That would be pretty funny. So obviously we know Golden State love to play that small ball. But obviously I don't think they'd play Simmons at center. I think he'd play power forward, and they just bring Pascal off the bench. But that would be a really nice starting 5. Let's look at this team real quick. Point guard, you got Steph Curry, shooting guard Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins at small forward, Ben Simmons at power forward, and a player like Marquise Chris at center. And then coming off the bench, you'd have Eric Pascal, who's averaging 14 points, Damian Lee, who's averaging 13, a second season Jordan Poole, who's averaging 9, Kai Bowman will be there as well, and then Kevon Looney, and obviously a bunch of other players that they may look to sign in free agency. That would probably be the championship favorites going into the 2020-21 season if they were able to get Ben Simmons. But of course, I'm going to say it, I don't think this is going to happen. Of course, I think the Philadelphia 76ers are never going to trade, well, not never, but won't trade Ben Simmons for the time being, and especially to the Golden State Warriors. I just can't really see that happening. Look, that pick is pretty attractive for them, but Ben Simmons is obviously a lot more of a better player that you would way rather. But the Golden State Warriors, I definitely think will be interested in Simmons, because they'll definitely be trying to get another star to put alongside Andrew Wiggins, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry. And whether that's, trading Andrew Wiggins or whether that is trading Draymond Green, I think that would be the case. But honestly, if I had to say what star it's going to be, I think they're going to try and get Rudy Gobert. I just have a feeling that even though I know they love their small ball, they will either try and get Rudy Gobert or they'll try and get Okongwu and play him as a small ball center. But again, what would you guys think if they tried to play Ben Simmons at a small ball center? Would you guys ever think the Golden State Warriors would experiment with that? Because they've experimented with a lot of things like this before, and I wouldn't be surprised that if they got Ben Simmons, they would experiment with him at center. And wow, that would be an absolutely insane team. I'm not gonna lie. If Ben Simmons was your center, that would just be the most insane small ball lineup I have ever seen. But obviously, they may struggle a bit on the boards with, Eric Pascal and Simmons. So, again, I don't know if I exactly like that too much. But, of course, That would be extremely interesting. But again, I definitely would really like to know your thoughts and opinions on this all down below. Do you guys think the Golden State Warriors will be still interested in Ben Simmons? Do you guys think they'll try and trade for him? Again, I definitely would really like to know your thoughts and opinions on this all down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you guys enjoyed this video. And go subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/vlogging channel. Links for them will be in the description down below as well. And definitely go check out my podcast as well if you haven't already. Links for that will be in the description down below. So as I was saying, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.